Y'all ready to be history?
Get started.
Welcome.
Hi.
Hello, everyone.
To the Pro Audio Suite.
These guys are professional. They're motivated.
With Tech to the VO stars. George Whittam, founder of Source Elements. Robert Marshall, international audio engineer. Darren Robbo Robertson and global voice. Andrew Peters, thanks to Tribooth. Austrian Audio, making passion heard. Source Elements. George the Tech Whittam. And Robbo and AP's international demos. To find out more about us, check theproaudiosuite.com.
Line up, ladies!
Here we go.
And welcome to another Pro Audio Suite, thanks to Austrian Audio, making passion heard. And Tribooth, don't forget the code, TRIPAP200, to get $200 off your Tribooth. Tribooth, good. Reflection filters? Let's discuss.
Not so.
I think the word the kids use nowadays is meh.
Meh.
Meh. Yeah.
I can say this to begin with. They are not all the same, and a lot has to do with the materials that they're made out of. Some of them just put stuff that looks like good Oral X, and they are thin, and they might as well not be there at all, and they just are something to make your mic stand heavy and fall over.
Right.
And cumbersome.
Yep.
And then, in my opinion, at best, they kind of blunt a few of the early reflections off the walls. They don't do anything about the overall room sound because they're pretty open from the top and bottom, and but they can blunt some early reflections. But I think they work better for singing type things and not really for voiceover, because they're not going to make a live room sound dead, and they're not going to do anything close to what a Tribooth or a Portabooth do in terms of getting the mic in an actual alcove that is fairly well protected on all, technically 4 or 5 sides from other reflections. So yeah, kind of cool, sort of okay. I think often more marketing than use, and definitely more useful in a music context than a post-production voiceover context.
Because the odd one out of all of those reflection filters that comes to mind is the Aston, which is more like a bowl.
Yeah, that one's pretty interesting. It looks like they did a lot more than just farting around when they came up with that design. It's very cool looking. It's very unique looking. It has a more or less bowl shape rather than the convex curve thing. Or is that concave? Concave, actually. Sorry, concave.
Which also can be a problem. Like that concave shape can focus things.
Yeah.
It still has a tendency. It's either going to not focus anything and not do anything. like I'm looking on, what's the website? Sugar Fluid. Let's just fill, I'm not going to say the name of the company.
Yes.
They have, if you search for acoustic absorption and then sort by most popular, it kind of gives you an idea what people are buying, right? And the top 2 is the SE Electronics RF-X Portable Vocal Booth, $92. And then the next one is the OnStage Isolation Shield. Now, I've heard these both because my clients end up buying them because somebody at the company, some sales rep or a recommendation on the website says, buy this with your $1,200 Neumann TL103.
Fuck it up.
Yeah, completely.
And it usually makes it sound slightly worse. I mean, at best, it does absolutely nothing at all.
Yes, that's what I was saying.
And then in most cases, it sounds not quite as good as if you had just left it out. In the context of like a walk-in closet, I can't tell you more times than not, someone set up in a walk-in closet, they got clothes all around, blah, 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 and then they have one of these behind the mic. And I'm like, what's that there for? And they're like, oh, well, I thought it wouldn't sound good without it. And I always make someone remove it and just do an A/B test.
It opens the mic up.
Let me hear it without.
Opens it up.
And in many cases, there was no change or it sounds better. I can't ever think of a situation where I was like, yeah, it sounds a little bit better with it to leave it up. It almost never does. So, and the really cheap ones that you get on Amazon and stuff, they're acoustically translucent.
Yes,
they don't do anything.
They don't do crap. Exactly.
It's like using a pop screen as absorbing, as an absorber. It's like,
well, at least your reflections don't pop, so there's one good thing.
Yeah. It'd be a better pop filter than it would be a acoustic absorber. So yeah, that's been my experience. I mean, SE kind of created this category, right? Didn't they invent the reflection filter with the X?
I feel like they were one of the first ones to do it. Yes, I think
Yeah.
so. And it does seem like theirs is a little bit more dense on the back.
There's
and
more
it seems to
engineering in
be-
the design. Tell you that.
Yeah,
A
it's
lot
like
more going on.
multi-layered. It's like a multi-layered absorption, not just like we took some
Right.
foam, like some packing foam, and stuck it behind the mic and called it. Yeah.
Yeah, and there's some YouTube channel videos you can watch what makes SE reflection filters so unique, and you get to see a teardown of how they're built and the different materials, and some real thought, engineering, and time goes into the design. And for the context of what it was designed for, yeah, it probably works rather well. Like you're trying to put up a vocal mic or maybe a horn mic and control the pickup dispersion of that instrument a little bit more. I feel like that's really what it was designed for. It's really more about like controlling splash than it is much else.
Well,
Yeah.
it reminds me a little bit of, do you remember in the 70s, people used to take clear discs and put them around the mics on horn players in live situations?
Yeah, but that's for a different reason.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's to prevent feedback, I think.
No.
Right?
My understanding is that's so that the horn player can literally hear themselves.
Hear themselves. Oh, so
Yeah.
it is literally a reflection not filter.
It's literally a reflector.
It's a reflector, yeah.
I mean, you guys can back me up on that. You guys listening on the show can, defute that or put it in the comments. But I'm 99% sure that's what the intention of those little plexiglass discs were.
I always thought it was to prevent the mic from getting into the
bleed?
Yeah,
From like one
bleed
horn
to the
mic?
no,
or
the
bleeding
wedge.
into the
No, from the wedge monitors directly below it. I thought it was trying to shield it from that. I
could
thought.
be. I have to find some pictures online of some old setups with those things and see how they're arranged. Like if the disc is if the mic is at an angle and the
kind of
disc is directly in front of the
parallel to the wedge monitor.
to the face of the driver, then you're knocking out that whatever that could be. Interesting. Yeah, that could be it too. No, something to look into. Have you guys seen those? I remember seeing, but yeah, it is like the 70s, right?
And I think part of the reason for that too is that also when you put a horn in front of a mic, you are just as much bouncing sound right out of that horn and right into the mic itself. You know what I mean? Like you have a bell of a horn like reflecting sound into the mic as much as the horn is blasting sound into the mic. But I never used one. It always seemed,
No, I never did either.
I think I did live sound once for a band that had them, but all I did, like that band was organized enough that they had their own guy, so I just kind of set up and like I was the in-house guy. So
Yeah. But I mean, just thinking logically, that's exactly what would actually happen is it would splash back your own sound to you so you could tell if you're in tune. I mean, now everybody's got in-ear monitors and, this monitoring on stages now is insane. But, the 60s and 70s and stuff, not so great, pretty bad. And it could be hard to play in tune, especially with brass. Brass instruments are hard to keep in tune because it's all done by ear with your lips, whereas like a reed instrument, it's different. You can affect the tuning of the reed instrument too, but brass instruments, the tuning is 100% done
all
by
you.
ear.
Yeah, it's
And
all
so
you vibrating
it's
your
all
lips.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can literally pitch up and down just by squeezing your lips. It's harder.
The reed instrument, you can pinch on the reed and get it to go up and pinch.
Yeah, you can kind of force it out of tune.
Yeah.
But naturally it blows in tune once it's tuned. But like brass is so much, tough trigger.
Yeah.
It's funny hearing you talking about wedges. How often do you go to a gig these days and see wedges? Very fucking rarely. It's all in ears and
They're usually older people on stage.
true. Yeah. I mean, guys like Billy Joel and Elton John. Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, so often it's just in ears now, isn't
or
it?
a DJ. DJs seem to like to have their ginormous speakers on each side of their podium, but that's a different.
Just being a wanker.
Yeah, exactly. Mine's bigger than yours.
You said it, not me, man.
Apologies to any DJs out there, but the truth hurts.
But it's when you look at the old footage of like the 60s, like the Beatles playing or any band playing live, they had a stack of like Vox amps behind them. And that was it. That was actually the amplifier for the concert and them listening.
They would maybe have a side fill. They maybe have a side fill for the drummer,
Right.
Like a little bit every now and then they'd have that. But yeah, wedge monitors don't show up until the later 60s and 70s.
Yeah.
I think.
The last time I did live sound, it was nobody had IEMs. Everything was wedges. So I mean, I've been out of it for a long time.
I've never had to mix in-ears for...
My brother does a theater gig, like he's full-time at this theater, and, it could be 20 people doing a musical review with labs, or, or tribute band doing Rush, or like it's all over the map, man.
Yeah.
It's all over the map what they do. It's pretty amazing, It's a lot. There's a lot to manage.
And they'll have their apps to control their monitor.
Well, it's like opera where they just hang the mics from the ceiling.
Yes.
Yeah.
I've done those. I've done
Yeah.
those on live stages, hung mics. Yep. Mm-hmm. It's just a way. It's a Band-Aid fix for bad acoustics.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And talk about bad acoustics, reflection filters, yes or no? I've probably, for this voiceover, probably a no.
I say no. Yeah. I say get your room treated and... Yeah.
Fix your room instead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My thought is that the cost of one that actually works, which is generally more than $200 to $300, that money could be spent on sound blankets, moving blankets, and
they don't travel well. These
No.
reflection
No.
filters are bulky and heavy, and they don't
Definitely
travel
not.
well, so they're not really...
I don't travel well either, to
I don't
be
know.
quite
There's
honest.
there is one portable acoustic treatment thing that you can squish down, like the Chaotica eyeball. But they have their own set of issues, and I have not yet been convinced that they don't cause more problems than they fix acoustically, but it blows me away sometimes. I watch videos of musicians on YouTube and they have one on their U87, and I'm like,
Oh, no.
Is that helping?
I bought one years ago because I was curious as to whether they were any good or not. And I think it was more not.
I saw it when it was launched at AES in New York. I think Robert was at the same show. I interviewed them and everything.
what the reflection filter or what which
No, the eyeball.
Oh, the eyeball is my opinion on that. I think that thing is 99% marketing, and it's just too close to the mic. It changes the sound way too much.
I think we did a episode with yours very early on, AP.
I think we did
Remember?
actually, yeah. I took it once on the road with me.
And another thing about the eyeball is that if you think about it, part of the reflection filter is also if you're speaking into the room, you don't want your voice to get to the wall to bounce back. And the Chaotica is too small to stop your voice from getting to the walls and bouncing back.
From propagating, traveling, yeah.
Right, but the things like the Porta Booth and the Tri Booth, they're big enough to do both, contain your voice and also try to keep the wall reflections from coming back in as well.
Yeah, exactly. You're getting the full use of both sides of the material with like a blanket booth, Tri Booth, those kinds of things. But these reflection filters, well, again, it depends on the model, how it's designed, the layers of materials, et cetera. But mostly, they're not doing a whole lot of good on the the reverse. The sound coming back at you from the room.
I think actually still one of the best things I used was I used to have a tall, absorber that was about 5 feet tall on a hinge. So it was like a gobo, and I would just stand that up behind the person in my room, which was pretty live, and that would help so much because a lot of it, it's what like the direction of the mic that it's sensitive to, and stuff would bounce off the wall, and then you stop it from getting into the front side of the mic. The back side of the mic is generally pretty, cardioid is dead a little bit. So, yeah. Maybe you can take the reflection filters that are acoustically transparent and put them in front of the mic and... No.
A giant pop filter.
Let's not go there.
A giant pop filter, right.
Well, that was fun. Is it over?
The Pro Audio Suite, with thanks to Tribooth and Austrian Audio. Recorded using Source Connect. Edited by Andrew Peters and mixed by Robbo. Got your own audio issues? Just ask Robbo.com. With tech support from George the Tech Whittam. Don't forget to subscribe to the show and join in the conversation on our Facebook group. To leave a comment, suggest a topic, or just say g'day, drop us a note at our website, proaudiosuite.com.